The political landscape is looking very different this morning. On Saturday, a major Democratic upset took place in the Texas state Senate election runoff. Democrat Taylor Remitt was declared the winner over Republican Lee Wambsgans by double digits in the state's deep red 9th district that President Trump previously won by 17 points in 2024. Remitt is a 33-year-old local union leader and first-time candidate whose race caught outsized attention after he overperformed in November's election, triggering a runoff. Remitt has since received a surge of support from Democratic groups, including the DNC. It's also another loss for President Trump, who endorsed the Republican candidate. Joining us now is the chair of the Democratic National Committee, Ken Martin. Ken, thank you so much for joining us on such short notice, taking the hit from your car this morning. So we all in Washington love to talk about the possibility of Texas turning blue or turning purple, turning something. What should be our takeaway this morning?
Well, look, today marks the 1-year anniversary of my election as DNC chair. And I said this last year when I was elected, that when you organize everywhere, you can win anywhere. That's our motto at the DNC. And you've seen us doing that all year long. I mean, as you know, we've talked about this the last time I was on your show. We've seen a historic overperformance throughout the country just in last year's elections. And it's because the DNC has taken a big bet. And that big bet is that we're going to invest in deep down ballot races to make sure we're building power around our agenda throughout the country. Last night's victory was historic in so many ways. Look, this is a seat that hadn't elected a Democrat in over 34 years. It's a plus 17% Trump district. Our candidate won decisively last night, and he was outspent by $2.1 million. He was outspent by $2.1 million, and he still won that seat. He flipped that seat. Again, it's a great way to start the year. We've got positive momentum and wind at our back. I couldn't be more excited, and congratulations to now State Representative-elect Remitt.
Mr. Chair, it's rare that folks spend a lot of time talking about state races, right? Local races, but we're in an election year, so that's going to happen, one. But two, you can't extrapolate things from them, right? It's not just the idea that, Texas, we saw what happened, and all of a sudden the Texas Senate is going to be a Democrat. That's not how it works. But it does tell us about where the excitement is, on which side, right? It tells you sometimes what people are upset about, right? When you end up talking to voters after one of these elections. When you look at the excitement that it seems to be more on the Democratic side than the Republican side, and you pair that with what we're seeing in your home state of Minnesota, what does it tell you about the landscape that we have, the political landscape we have to operate in as we move forward?
Well, it tells us that there's great excitement out there and enthusiasm. Certainly, there's a huge enthusiasm gap right now as it relates for the Republicans. Clearly, their voters are not showing up. Some of them are switching sides. There's great anger in the country right now with Democrats, independents, and Republican voters, and what they're seeing around this country as our Constitution is being shredded and constitutional rights are being trampled upon in my home state of Minneapolis, of course, and around the nation. People are fed up, and that's clearly one of the reasons why people are coming out and supporting Democrats. But the other reason, let me be very clear, is that our candidates, including Taylor last night, are focused in on kitchen table issues, on those issues that really people are most concerned about in this country right now. He focused in on reducing child care costs and making sure that we are funding our public schools and bringing down the cost of goods. That's what people want to hear, and they want to see Democrats standing up and fighting for that. That was the through line last year, and that continues this year. But let me say this very clearly. I am confident we're going to win in 26, but I'm not complacent. There is wind at our back, historic wins at our back. We've never seen an overperformance like we saw last year, but we're not complacent. There's a reason I didn't lose a single statewide race in Minnesota, and that was because we never rested on our laurels. We didn't believe a poll that showed us up any more than we believed a poll that showed us down. We're just going to continue to organize. We're going to continue to get out there and grind. And let me say this. There's a lot of people in D.C. who don't like the fact that I'm focusing in on building power up and down the ballot, that I'm investing in down ballot races. And I tell all of them, I don't care, because this is one of the lessons we've learned over the last year, which is our party has got to do a better better job of contesting races up and down the ballot everywhere. And Texas's victory last night shows that when you organize everywhere, you can win anywhere.
Okay, Chairman Martin, I'm going to play the role of Jackie Alamania and play devil's advocate.
Jack is on vacation.
Right. So let me play devil's advocate here. What do you say to some potential naysayers? Because we are talking about Democrats, and Democrats love to pick on themselves. What do you say to folks who will say, "Yeah, it's a victory, but the turnout was low. The election was on a Saturday. Also, it's a special. It is the runoff election of a special election." What do you say to those folks who might try to discount this historic win in a state Senate race?
Well, I'll just say what I already said. I mean, she had a $2.5 million more than our candidate did. She outspent him by 2.1. I mean, the fact is, this is really significant victory in a district that hadn't elected a Democrat in 35 years. And so, look, you know, I always drown out the critics, both within our party and the Republicans out there. They're going to say what they're going to say to try to, undervalue what just happened here. And they've been saying that all year. Well, don't pay attention to what's going on out there, right? Just believe us on all sorts of things, including on what has been happening over the last year, election after election. We won in Iowa. We flipped that state Senate seat there. We won in Pennsylvania, flipping that state Senate. We've picked up 3 legislative seats in Mississippi to actually break their Republican supermajority. We were winning all across the board at a historic rate. So look, I dropped out the naysayers. Just keep organizing, keep fighting. We are going to win. Don't be complacent. Get out there and do the work. And we're going to have a big year, and we will put a check on this madman's power.
DNC Chair Ken Martin, as always, thank you for coming to the weekend, but especially today, given that you have to do it from a car. Thank you very much.